Hello everyone, welcome back to today's video. Today we'll be discussing on the Varman Dynasty, one of the most important dynasty of the ancient Assam history, because it is only from this dynasty that we can see that there is proper written records and proper written evidences are being found. So the timeline of this dynasty is starting from 350 to 650 AD. Okay, so let's look into the list of all the kings. There were total 14 kings in this dynasty. The first king was Pushya Varman, followed by his son Samudra Varman, Bala Varman, Kalyan Varman, Ganapati Varman, Mahendra Varman, Narayana Varman, Bhuti Varman, Chandramukha Varman, Stita Varman, Sustita Varman, Supratista Varman, Bhaskar Varman, Avanti Varman. So today we'll be looking into the accounts of only those kings which are frequently asked in the exams. We'll be looking into the accounts of these kings where I have ticked. Okay, there is Pushya Varman, Samudra Varman, Bala, Mahindra, Bhuti, Sustita, Bhaskar Varman. The first king, Pushya Varman, he started his tenure from 350 AD to 374 AD. That means 24 years. So Pushya Varman was the first king of this dynasty, and at that time he was the contemporary of the famous king Samudra Gupta. Okay, Samudra Gupta was basically a ruler of the Gupta dynasty in Bengal, and we can even see that Samudra Gupta even mentioned Kamrup as a frontier kingdom. And where did he mention it? In his inscription at Allahabadi pillar. Okay, Samudra Gupta mentioned Kamrup as their frontier kingdom in the inscription at Allahabadi pillar. And in that pillar, Pushya Varman was mentioned as Pratyanta Niripati. Okay, this is important. Samudra Gupta mentioned Pushya Varman as Pratyanta Niripati in his inscription in Allahabadi pillar. And this Allahabadi pillar or inscription is the first record which mentions Kamrup in historical times. Okay, as we have known, in the prehistoric period there was no written records, and it was only during the time from Varman Dynasty that there was proper written and organized records found. So this was one of the first. So this is basically the Allahabadi pillar, and this is how it looks like from near. The inscriptions, I got it from Google. Okay, mentioned as Maharaja Dhiraj. Okay, and where was it mentioned? He was mentioned as Maharaja Dhiraj in the copper plates inscription of Bhaskar Barman. Okay, so we can even say that Maharaja Dhiraj is the another name of Pushya Barman. Okay, so this is how the copper plate inscription looks like. Again, the source is Google. Let's look into the next king, the son of Pushya Varman, that is Samudra Varman. So Samudra Varman was the son and successor of Pushya Varman. Okay, and he was the contemporary of again the Gupta emperor, who was at that time Chandragupta II. The reason why I'm mentioning all the contemporaries is because sometimes the examiner they ask. Okay, and he was also the contemporary of the famous poet Kalidas. And at that time there was peace and order in Kamrup during his reign. Okay, like his father, he also assumed the title again of Maharaja Dhiraj. And even the poet Kalidas mentions the king of Kamrup, that is Samudra Varman obviously at that time, in a way which shows that Kamrup was an important kingdom of India at that time. So Basically, Kamrup was already an established kingdom by that time. Okay. Now let's look into the next king, that is Balavarman. Balavarman was basically the son and successor of Samudravarman. And during his reign, there was not much eventful, or we can say it was uneventful. But why do we need to read, or why do we need to study, is because of his daughter. Okay, Balavarman had a daughter. His daughter's name was Amrita Prabha, and Amrita Prabha married Meghavahana. Okay, and who was this Meghavahana? Meghavahana was basically the king of Kashmir, or the prince of Kashmir. Okay, and during the marriage, she was accompanied by a Buddhist scholar or a Buddhist monk, and the name is important. It's already been asked in exam. The name is Stunpa or Stupa. We can see both in, depending upon the books and the writers. Sometimes we can see it as Stunpa, and sometimes it is written as Stupa. And then Amrita Prabha, she built a lofty monastery in Kashmir for the benefit of the foreign monks. Okay, foreign Buddhist monks, for their benefit, she built a monastery in Kashmir, and the name of that monastery is again Amrita Bhavan. It's important. The story of Amrita Prabha, again, it proves that Buddhism actually was spreading in Assam at that time. It was already existed in Assam at the time of Balavarman's reign, and many of the people, they think that it was only after the coming in of Wensang in 643 AD that Buddhism existed. But from the account of Amrita Prabha, we can see that Buddhism already existed. So the next king is Mahendravarman. Very important king. Mahendravarman was the son and successor of Ganapati Varman. Okay. He was the first important ruler of Varman Dynasty. Okay, the first important ruler of the Varman Dynasty, and he was the first Kamrupi king who fought directly against the Guptas. Okay, because we have already seen that even in the Allahabadi pillar inscription, Guptas, they have mentioned Kamrup as their frontier kingdom or as their vassal state. So it was after the reign of Mahendravarman that they directly stood face to face with the later Guptas at that time, and they fought against them and asserted complete independence from the Guptas. Okay, Mahendravarman, he was the first ruler of Kamrup to perform Ashwamedha Yajna. And what is this Ashwamedha Yajna? It was an ancient custom or tradition performed by the Indian kings or Hindu kings, that is also called horse sacrifice. Okay, I have just got this piece of information from Google. Let's read it together. Ashwamedha Yajna was used by ancient Indian kings to prove their imperial sovereignty. A horse accompanied by the king's warrior would be released to wander for a year in the territory traversed by the horse. Any rival could dispute the king's authority by challenging the warriors accompanying the horse. Okay. After 1 year, if no enemy had managed to kill or capture the horse, the animal would be guided back to the king's capital. It would be then sacrificed, and the king would be then declared as the undisputed sovereign. Okay. So this is Ashwamedha Yajna. And the important takeaway point for us is Mahendravarman was the first king of Assam to perform Ashwamedha Yajna. Let's look into the next king, that is Bhuti Varman. Bhuti Varman was the son and successor of Narayana Varman, and he fought again against the later Guptas and conquered Pundravardan area. Okay, Pundravardan or North Bengal. So basically, after crossing the Karatoya river, this area is quite disputed throughout the Varman dynasty. We'll see that the Guptas and the Varmans, they always had a dispute for this area, okay, Pundravardan. So as a mark of his great victory, he performed horse sacrifice, again Ashwamedha Yajna, and donated land to around 200 Brahmins, okay, in North Bengal and Pundravardan area. So this is basically Pundravardan area, and here is Pragjyotisha for Assam. So I just got this from Google. Let's look into the next king. It is Sustita Varman. Okay, Sustita Varman, the son and successor of Stita Varman. He was also known as Sri Mriganka. Okay, he was defeated by a powerful Gupta king at that time. It was Mahasen Gupta. Okay, so we have just seen that during the time of Bhuti Varman, the Pundravardan area and the North Bengal area was already being fought against the Guptas and was captured, and it was under the territory of Kamrup. Okay, but Sustita Varman was defeated by Mahasen Gupta, a powerful Gupta emperor, and all those land that was being captured by Bhuti Varman was being lost again to the Guptas. Okay, and Sustita Varman had two sons, Supratista Varman and Bhaskar Varman. Okay, let's look into the account of Bhaskar Varman now, a very important king of Assam again. Bhaskar Varman, also known as Kumar Raja. Okay, and why was he known as Kumar Raja? In books it is written there because he did not get married. Okay, and that's the reason he was the last king and he did not have any successor. So he succeeded to the throne after the death of his brother, that is Supratista Varman. Okay, Bhaskar Varman succeeded to the throne after the death of his brother Supratista Varman, and he was one of the most important king of not only the Varman dynasty but also of the entire Kamrup or Assam. And why was he famous for? He was famous for two reasons. Okay, his diplomatic relationship with king of Taneshwar, that is King Harshavardhana. His diplomatic relationship with King of Taneshwar, King Harshavardhana, and another one is his interest in literature. He even invited Huensang to Kamrup. Okay, let's look into this first. Actually, at that time, in the northern part of India, in Taneshwar, Harshavardhana was ruling, and as we have seen, Bhaskar Varman's father, Sustita Varman, lost the land of North Bengal and even Pundravardan to the Guptas again. So Bhaskar Varman, after making diplomatic relationship with Taneshwar or Harshavardhan, they together Bhaskar Varman and Harshavardhan, they fought against the Guptas and the king of Gora. At that time it was King Sashanka, and they defeated the Guptas and the Goras, and Bhaskar Varman, he recaptured the land that was being lost by his father. Okay, so Pundravardan and North Bengal was again under the territory of Assam. Okay, and his interest in literature, he invited Huensang in, and Huensang came to Kamrup in the year 643 AD. So we have already seen the diplomatic relationship between Bhaskar Varman and the King Harshavardhana. So when Bhaskar Varman wanted to establish relationship with Harshavardhana, then at that time he sent Hansa Vega as his ambassador to the court of Harshavardhana. Okay, so this name is important, Hansa Vega. And he also requested Shilabhadra of Nalanda University to send Huensang to Kamrup. Okay. So when Huensang came to India, Huensang visited the Nalanda University for his research purpose. So at that time, Bhaskar Barman heard about Huensang and he requested Shilabhadra of the Nalanda University to send Huensang. Okay. So Huensang visited Kamrup in the year 643 AD. And after visiting Kamrup, Huensang mentions Kamrupa as 1700 miles or 10,000 li. Okay, this is important. And Huensang called Bhaskar Barman as the king of Eastern India. And when Huensang left Kamrup, Bhaskar Barman was also invited by Harshavardhana to attend one religious ceremony in Kanauj. Okay. So together, Bhaskar Barman and Harshavardhana, in the religious ceremony, they wore two distinct dresses. Okay. So these dresses are important. Harshavardhana wore the dress of Indra, Hindu Lord Indra, and Bhaskar Varman wore the dress of the Lord Brahma. The important sources of the Varman Dynasty. The first, obviously, we have seen the inscription in Allahabadi pillar of Samudragupta, and the second is Dubi and Nidanpur copper plate inscription. Okay, and these inscriptions were Dubi and Nidanpur copper plate inscription by Bhaskar Barman. Okay, Dubi is in present day Pathshala, Nidanpur is in present day Sylhet. That is in Bangladesh. Okay, and in 1917 or in 1918, famous archaeologist David B. Spooner, he found the seal of Bhaskar Barman during the excavation of Nalanda University. Okay, in 1917 to 1918, this name is important. David B. Spooner found the seal of Bhaskar Barman during the excavation of Nalanda University. So that's it for Varman Dynasty. Next we'll be discussing on the Salastamba or Melek Dynasty. So thank you everyone. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.